Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Excited to have here live on the Zoomcast and podcast Amanda Friedman. Yeah, she's the owner of her own company based out of Chicago, Illinois, as a wedding planner. The name of her company is Amanda Page Events. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Jill. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, excited to have you here. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your company? Tell us what it is you do.
Sure. Yeah. So, hi, Amanda Friedman here. So, my company in Chicago is Amanda Page Events. We are full service wedding planning and wedding coordination. We have a team of 5 here. We're rocking it. It's a really lot of fun. But we also just expanded our company to Amanda Page and Company, servicing New York City and Scottsdale. So, we're very, very excited. So, we've got a whole team of 10 now.
This is exciting. There's so much I want to get to know about you. And also what I noticed is that you're from Long Island.
I am from Long Island. Yes.
Where specifically?
Specifically, I am from Merrick. I went to
Okay.
high school at Kennedy High School. Go Cougars. I'm from Long Island. Love led me to Chicago. And let me tell you, I sometimes think it's the better city, but shh.
Oh, I want to hear all about this. I grew up out in Farmingville, Long Island, so in Suffolk County. Still live in
Nice.
Long Island as well with my family. But also, I love this. Could you share your experience? What brought you here? I got to get to know you as a person before I know you as a business owner.
For sure. So yes, so I went to college at Indiana University, as many girls from Long Island do. I moved out to New York after college, and I started off in nonprofit work, doing event planning with them, doing donor relations, and that's kind of where I started learning a little bit about client resources and client work. And then I met first was my boyfriend, fiance, now husband, on Tinder in New York. He was 2 blocks, 3 avenues away. We knew each other in college, but
Oh
not.
my gosh.
Yeah, he was very close by. And so we knew each other in college, but not super, super well. And then things were going well. And then on our 6th date, he told me, hey, by the way, I'm moving to Chicago in like 9 months. And I was like, what? What do you mean you're moving to Chicago? This is going well. And so he made the move. We did long distance, and then I made the move. And so, yeah, then Chicago became our home. I was starting to build out, again, this nonprofit, but events career here. All was going well. But then he tells me he wants to go get his MBA. And we were just dating at that time. And he said he wants to try and get into Harvard Business School. And I was like, well, no ring, no bring, because I'm not going unless we're married. And he was like, don't worry, that's coming. So we moved over to Boston right after we got married in 2018. I actually worked at Harvard Business School at the time, doing alumni relations and other, big events, donor relations. It was a really great learning experience for me. I was also, while there, I did get a degree in digital strategy and marketing, which is what brings me to today. I was also shadowing a luxury bar and bat mitzvah planner in Boston.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Erica Page, Events and Parties. I told her about my dream name, Amanda Page. And so it was just, very meant to be. And so, so then the pandemic hit. I had this marketing experience, this private event experience. And, we were moving back to Chicago. We've decided East Coast wasn't for us anymore. We did want to try and get back to our roots in the Midwest. And so, then May 2020, Amanda Page is born, Amanda Page Events.
Oh, congratulations. This is exciting, the work that you get to do for everyone. And thank you for sharing your story. My goodness, so much to it. And let's click on that link. Let's remind them how they can reach you. It's AmandaPEvents.com.
AmandaPEvents.com.
Great.
And AmandaPageandCo.com now.
Beautiful.
The big launch was yesterday, so I'm just very jazzed about it.
This is exciting. There's also some galleries on the website you could take a look at. And when you talk about wedding planning, could you break it down for us? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. As a full service agency, explain to me the things that you're working with brides and families on.
Yeah, for sure. So our approach to planning, we try and do a little bit different than everybody else. And what does that mean? We try and be very educational, very transparent, right up front on budgets, planning, all that. We also try and say transparency, empathy, fun. we can't forget the fun part of wedding planning, right? And so there is a lot of great elements to it, but does become very stressful for people. So with our approach, we always start off with budget. We're like, the budget is our guide. And so we always try and figure out how much is it going to cost for butts in seat, food in mouth, drink in hand, right? And so once you pay your catering, venue, beverage, you can have a wedding, right? Like everyone's fed, everyone's drinking, and the rest is all kind of extra. And so that's where we start off in all of our wedding planning. And then from there, we really match people with their style, their budget, their, the personality of these different vendors. We really try not to be like a middleman, but more of a matchmaker for our clients. Like we really want them to build a relationship with the vendors that are working with them on their wedding day so that they just feel good about the people they're working with. We don't try and be like, you have to do it through us. And so that's been very successful for us. It's also been really successful in building relationships with vendors, right? And it's been such a great experience in Chicago to really get to know these super talented people. And, I'm very excited about meeting this new community in New York and meeting this new community in Scottsdale. And we're pretty, say we're very vendor friendly.
Amazing. Scottsdale is so beautiful. What made you fall in love with that city, and how did you start working getting clients there?
Yeah, so Scottsdale was actually, my grandparents moved to Scottsdale when I was 8 years old. So they've always had a house out there.
Ah,
It's really just where we went out to like relax and be cowboys, right? And so it ends up being this whole migration of my like Brooklyn, Long Island family to the West. And so that's a little mini home out there. We started doing some weddings out there in 2021 was our first wedding in Scottsdale. And the community there is just so sweet. Like, it's very, very similar to the Chicago community, I would say, in pricing and styles. And
yep.
so it just felt like a really natural move out there. New York's like this whole other like ball game that we're learning. And we actually hired another wedding coordinator who's already done weddings in New York, since it's kind of a totally new market to us. And we're just trying to be really smart about that.
Oh, wonderful. Well, this is exciting. Now, again, let's remind everyone at Amanda Page Events, really, she's a unique wedding planner. She can work with you from every facet of this. Also, a mom, an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. How many kids do you have? Tell me more about this.
Yeah, so
Ah,
actually, I need to give a shout out. Happy birthday to my 1-year-old today, little Shay. So Shay Friedman.
congrats.
Yeah, so she was born 1 year ago today. She has just been, she's a character, man. She is so cute, and she's just been the joy of our lives. She's been an easy baby, so I'm a little worried because they tell me that she's going to be either a terrible toddler, a terrible 2, or a terrible teenager. So we'll try and figure that out. But she's been great. My husband has been amazing with her. Just, wedding days become daddy days, and she gets to like spend a day with her dad, and that's super unique and special. And we also have the first child, our firstborn is our dog Kirk. So Kirk, he's
Oh,
yeah, we got him in April 2019. He was like our first like training wheels to parentship, so parenthood.
beautiful.
So.
So let me ask, I mean, I've never been married. I'm finally engaged, right at 45.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats.
Thank you.
Oh my
Well,
God, I
thanks.
want to ask you so many questions about your, plans, but if you
I
need
don't,
a
well,
planner, we're
it
there.
just happened. It only happened last month. I got engaged. So there's no, yeah. So we're at the beginning of everything. And the truth is, I have a 6 and 8-year-old now, 2 little boys. I live
Yeah.
alone. It's a lot. Then working full time. I told my fiance, I said, I'm going to need a wedding planner. I said, I cannot do this alone. And he's like, well, what is that? I'm like, he's such a guy. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, that's someone to do everything to get the stress off of my mind because I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And so as a man, he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you could do everything from like invitations to help the spot out the venue to the catering to everything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like to be honest with you, I love well, I want to do a destination name, but my family wouldn't come. So at least I could bring a little, maybe like a vineyards. I love the vineyards out here in Long Island. Have you
Oh
ever
yeah,
been?
for sure. Yeah, no,
So
it's up in
there's
here.
some great venues out there. And I'm like, well, how do you get started? And how do you look? And it's so confusing. I was Googling the other day and I'm like, I see, oh, you have a site fee, this, that. I'm like, there's just too much. I'm
Mhm.
like, just to have someone break it down for you, it'd be so much easier to hire someone to find it, to book it and all that. So just curious, could you work out east at Long Island?
Yeah, we could. No, it's part of our new jurisdiction for sure. So we're in Long Island, the city. We'll dabble in Westchester and then South Jersey. So
Love it. And clearly,
hey, let's do a little initial
um,
consult, because I definitely can give you some words of wisdom, and then maybe you'll hire a team.
thank you. Did you do this yourself for your own wedding?
Yeah, so
Tell me. Yeah.
so we got married 2018. So the world was just so different then. Like we didn't have TikTok and Reels and like everyone giving like great words of wisdom, right? On
So
your phone.
true.
And so I was an event planner in Chicago, already had a great network. And so I hired a day of coordinator. So that is very popular here, not as much in New York, but someone that's just going to pick up all the pieces on the wedding day so I don't have to work. We do offer that service where like I have learned through my own wedding planning experience that I wanted a year of coordinator basically. And so we provide a package where you are the wedding planner. You get to make your own decisions and I don't have to tell you what to do, but I'm going to like best thread through the process. Like I'm your sounding board, right? So I'm the person that's giving you guidance throughout the process. And so you don't have to feel super alone. And that's what I wanted. And I did have a really great coordinator on the wedding day, but there were pieces of the puzzle where I didn't feel like she was totally 100% in it with me because
Because
she was a coordinator, not a planner, and that's not what I paid her for. So it was a really, like, I go back all the time and be like, what would I do differently?
Mhm.
And very luckily, I have 2 weddings at my wedding venue next year. So I get to go back and do things different.
Oh my goodness. And where were
Yeah.
you married? Where did you get married, by the way?
So we got married at the Chicago Botanic Garden. It was like a
Beautiful.
dream venue. It's just it's so beautiful, outdoorsy. Like my husband's from St. Louis and I'm from New York. And so it was this like happy middle ground for everyone. So it became a destination wedding for everyone.
Oh, which that can get complicated too. My goodness.
Yeah. But
You
happy
definitely
to
need help with that.
so in the empathy side of our company, like we do rely a lot on our own experiences. And not everyone on our team is married but we do have life experience that we totally bring to the table and like tell you honestly, like, yeah, this didn't work and this did work. And we think this could work for you if you do XYZ. And so learn from our mistakes, learn from our past brides' mistakes, like
Mhm.
we're like we'll admit when we did something wrong. I feel like planners, like everyone thinks of like J-Lo, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be this lady in a bun. It's like we're real people and we make mistakes. We're just super confident and are gonna like get you through your wedding
Can
day.
I ask you something that I think has become more important? I mean, obviously, it's always been photography and all that, but now it's like the social media aspect of it. Are you hiring photography teams that just do like social, like snippets and stuff for like,
Yeah, so that's definitely becoming more popular, but our team, so it's actually a unique thing that our team does is every wedding on the Amanda P events _ shy Instagram, we have a highlight reel of every wedding we've done. And it is the same formula every single day, every single weekend of like the girls are getting ready and the guys are getting ready. And then we're going into first look and then they go to this, like it's all the same beats. And people actually really wait for something that we always do, our room reveal. So like every wedding we do, we make sure that the bride and groom or the couple, they can go and see the room before all the guests go into reception. And just
aw,
like that, oh my God, of the day. So our team is trained in like getting through the moments on social media. And so it's kind of like a service that we provide and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for my wedding to be the highlight on the Instagram."
that is so unique. I love
Yeah.
that. And by the way, would you mind sharing again your Instagram page?
Yes, it's at Amanda P Events _ shy. And then we have the new Instagram, which started yesterday. So please, our new
Congrats.
followers will take you at Amanda Page and Co. So at Amanda Page and Co. to Instagram.
Wonderful. All
Yeah.
right. So what else do you want to break down for us today, Amanda?
Yeah. So, I definitely want to share a little bit more about like what our services are. And so we do full service planning, start to finish. From the moment that you decide to get married, we did actually have a few clients, like before there was a ring, they hired us. So like we can be there for you from literally the like baby stages of your engagement
Mhm.
all the way until we're saying good night. So on your wedding day. So basically from very, very start to very, very finish. So that's full service planning. We go from venue, vendors, coordination. We go through the entire like
Ah,
Amanda page funnel. Then one step below that, we do partial planning. So if you need a wedding planner that's going to come in on like vendors, and you need someone to like you already have your venue and you have your wedding date, and now you just need like your team, like who are the people that are going to get you through your wedding day. And so that's when you come in to the vendor part of the funnel, and we take you from vendors all the way through. One step below that, we've got the wedding coordination that I was discussing a little bit earlier. We are like #1 coordination team with type A brides. Like, I just understand the mind of like an event planner, a marketer, like somebody that just has their stuff together and they just need somebody confident to get them through the day. And they just don't want to work, right? Just like I didn't. So we provide this service, again, to be your best friend, to be that like, confident person that's going to wrangle the troops so you don't have to. And so that's really what wedding coordination is. We also have decided that in wedding coordination, we are going to give vendor recommendations. So, we can open our Rolodex. We're happy to do it. We're just not, so we're happy to give out our like whole community of people for sure. So those are our packages.
I love it. And by the way, I love on the website, I get to meet your whole team. There's a whole bunch of people with all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
There's a team of, is it 5 total?
Yeah, so in Chicago, it's 5. And then in New York, we've got 2, growing though. So there's like, a few more people that are joining the team. And then in Scottsdale, we have a good group of 3. It's all women, like all women. I have no men in my company, but, it's just all women that really wanted a foot in the door. Like, this industry is super hard to get into because it's scary. It's intimidating, and that's like, I'm just trying to like start a revolution, be like, it doesn't have to be so scary.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
No, you're right.
Don't be intimidated, Jill. You're going to get married and it's going to be beautiful. I promise. Like,
thank you.
Even if it's just you and your fiance and your kids in a vineyard, just the 4 of you, like, have fun with that,
Yeah, no, I don't want that little, but I don't want.
I know, but like,
yeah, but I want maybe like under 200. I need even like less, maybe 100. It's just so overwhelming. But that whole aspect of like, the overwhelm of planning a wedding, I can't even think. And then menu, invitations, all these things, photography, and then like what do you call them? Not souvenirs. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking souvenirs. Favors. I'm like, how do you even do? I just
you don't need to do favors, man. Like, they're a waste of money. They're out there. I gave you permission.
Yeah. No, I know. Like, it's a lot of overwhelm. How do you make the time to do everything? So I would love someone to come in and say, I'm doing this. These are your choices. What do you think? I need someone to put it on the table because I can't even, And it's got to help so much with the overwhelm of a bride. My goodness. And then on the day of the wedding, now, do they hire you to also be there on the day of?
So for sure. So every single one of our packages like does include wedding coordination. We usually have 2 people. So it's always a planner and a coordinator, or a coordinator and assistant. We have one person that's always with the bride, one person that's always with the groom in the getting ready times. And then they come together usually for first look. And then it's like a choreography throughout the rest of the day. It's all very seamless. But I do want to touch on like what makes us special and what makes our team special in the beginning stages, as you were talking, because I can feel you, Jill. I can
the energy, the angst.
I can feel the angst. And so I would say one of the very common things that we get in our initial consult is at the end, everyone says to us, I felt so much better talking to you. And that's our goal. Like, our goal, like, I try and be, again, transparency is so important to me. Our pricing's right on our website. Like, you want to try and work with us, go ahead. Like, you don't have to meet with us to learn our pricing. We have a flat fee, no commissions, no like pricing based on your budget. I want to try and work with brides at, we're not like working on like DIY weddings, but like, it's okay if your budget's like more modest than every, huge, big New York City wedding you see, right? Like, it's okay. And so we're not trying to up your budget to work with you. That's 2. And then really like in those initial client calls, I always say like, you have a wedding planner on the line. This is your chance. Like, ask me whatever you want. Like, do you have questions about a certain venue or a person? Did you hear this like rumor in the area? Like, we are very, very knowledgeable in each of our markets to really know that. And so that's what the initial phone call. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You got another call. Don't worry. It's work time. Uh-oh. She's like,
Uh,
hi.
sorry,
It's
kid,
okay.
someone trying to call me for my kid's birthday. So yeah, so we're just trying in that initial call to really sell is like not the right word. It's just be open and like give our honest feedback on budget, on venue, on like, because a lot of people have no idea what they're doing, right? Like no one knows how much a wedding costs. No one.
Yeah. No.
And so you just hear these things of like, oh, should it be like $1,000 a person or should it be $200? Like, so I am here to tell you what's in the realm of the possible and like, how do we make your Pinterest, TikTok, real dream come true within your means, So that's my whole goal in that initial consult is to be like, Jill, it's all going to be okay. You're going to have your vineyard wedding. Let's talk about how we're going to make it happen.
Got it. Thank you. I love that. I love it. And right at your fingertips, my goodness. Now, if you had a chance to do it all over again, would you still choose the Botanical Garden in Chicago? Or now that you're like, I was going to say, what are some amazing venues in Scottsdale? Because that's a great destination
Oh,
spot
wow. Oh, that's hot. So there's 100 reasons why I wouldn't choose Scottsdale for myself. Cause like, it's just the Botanic Garden in Chicago is like stunning. It's immaculate. It takes you, it just transports you to a place. And like, I was a summer camp girl in New York. And so I always dreamed of an outdoor wedding. And like, that was the only place I wanted to do it. Cause like also the planner in me, like there's all these different backup spaces in there that are super beautiful. And so even if it were to totally rain, I would have a beautiful wedding. Right. So that's super important.
Yeah, gotta have that tent.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it was, I won't get into those details. Anyway, so I would say in Scottsdale, there are some like the hotels and the resorts are just so gorgeous. Where in like Chicago, a lot of times like people come to me and I was just like, I don't want a hotel wedding, but like in Scottsdale, I want a
That's the
hotel.
way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gorgeous. I'm very excited. Our first like official launch wedding is at a venue called El Churro. It's very popular. It's like so aesthetically gorgeous there. It's like a big event lawn. And that's what makes Scottsdale such a beautiful challenge to me is because like we are not dealing with buildings in the city and like, just like what makes Chicago and New York so special and so beautiful. We are in the great outdoors. Like we have beautiful mountain backdrops and like just like utilizing like wildflowers and just like all these new vendors that are so exciting to me. And so yeah, hotels, El Churro, few other venues in the pipeline. Very, very excited.
Yeah, I remember years ago I was over at my kids want to go to the Great Wolf Lodge now in Scottsdale. We love Great Wolf Lodges. I don't know if you're familiar with them yet.
Yeah.
There's one in the
We have them in Illinois.
Do you? Okay. So there's one in Scottsdale, and I was like, I want to go to like the Fairmont or like the fancy hotels. Like, I'm like, all right, but you could do that.
Yeah.
It's different when you have kids, right? And that's another thing too. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of people, probably not just the first marriage, the second or third marriage, and that aspect of that changing for people, what they want and their needs and desires.
Yeah, that's again, it comes like, of course, I've been only married once, right? But like, I'm a child of divorce, and like, I remember like my mom planning her second wedding and just like all the stresses that came to her, and like, well, is this appropriate or is that appropriate? And like, a big rule that I have 2 rules in wedding planning. One, respect. Like you gotta be respectful to people. But 2, like there are no rules other than you guys get married, And so like, if you are having a second wedding, it's okay to be the bride and wear white and do it all over again. This is a whole new chapter. It's a whole new love story.
Yeah.
So if your mind is in the mindset of like, okay, this is my life partner that I'm going to do the rest of my life with, but I cannot display as much as I did the first time around.
Yeah.
What a way to go into your marriage, like that's just wrong. Do what I always say this to everyone, do what reflects you and do what reflects your story, not what lives up to like mom, dad, grandma's expectations of what you is,
Yeah, got it. Because, like, for example, I only like country music. I love country music. And at my wedding, I do not want any 50s, 60s, 70s. I just want a country music band, country music only. Like, I want it. And like, I don't like any fish. Like, I don't want any fish on my menu. Like, I want it. And
Yeah.
people, like, so I want to do this whole like country type theme. But like, people might like, oh, well, we're not listening to regular like disco. I'm like, who listens to disco? But some
But
people, you know
there
what I'm
are
saying?
plenty.
I
Hey,
hate loud, crazy music at weddings. It always bothers me that it drowns everything out for the night. So I like something.
yeah. And what I would say to that is like, there's so much country music. Well, I'm a big country music fan. So
Oh, good, good.
so let me plan your wedding, man. I mean, we'd have so much fun. But like Shania has some like really great hits that like get everybody on the dance floor, right? There are
Mhm.
so many Tim McGraw, great hits, get you on the dance floor, Garth Brooks. So it's like there are still like high level genre people that get people on the dance floor, and then intertwined have the deep cuts that like make you, right?
Got it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, no one wants fish.
I love you.
My one thing is don't do vegan for everybody. I hate when I have like a bride that's like, I'm vegan, so everyone has to eat vegan. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's a little much. I
no.
offer choices. If there's no fish, there's still chicken or meat or pasta, which is like, okay, good.
So maybe I do have some rules, but no.
But all right, good. And again, Amanda, remind us how we can reach out to you. And by the way, you were featured in The Knot as well, right?
Yeah, so we're on The Knot, we're on Wedding Wire and Google. We did just earn our third year in a row, the best of The Knot 2023. That is based on all of our reviews. We exclusively have 5-star reviews from all of our clients that just say how amazing we all are, and how dedicated we are to everybody. And it's not just me, my whole team gets the same 5 stars, and it just really warms my soul. Because it's my name.
Of
Man
course.
Page, my name, but I have hired only the people that can really take it on, and people that I trust. So
Great. And just a testimonial that someone named Jesse R. wrote about Amanda. Amanda makes you feel like she's your oldest and dearest friend, helping to plan your wedding. Her organization, detailed guidance really helped us bring our wedding visions to reality. Day of, Taylor and Vanessa were also incredible and at the ready to help us through the timeline amidst the fun chaos. We had a wonderful time working with her and her team of rock stars. And you're even planning event planners weddings, that says a lot too. I'm reading
that
about
is
Lindsay.
yeah.
Oh no, it's amazing. Amanda, pleasure having you here. And again, let's remind everyone how we can reach you.
Yeah, so you can always reach us. Instagram is always great, at Amanda Page Events _shy. You can also find us at AmandaPEvents.com. The new Scottsdale and New York stuff is at AmandaPageandCo.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. Pleasure talking to you. Looking forward to our next session and maybe
Yeah.
working together in the future.
I'm gonna sell you, Jill.
All right, deal. You got it. Thank you so much. I'm excited to talk to you.
I'm very excited to talk to you.
Have a great
again.
day and happy birthday to your little one and enjoy your
thank
day.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.